This is the Tier 10 British Collector Heavy, the Super Conqueror, a vehicle that not only looks absolutely fantastic, but has a pretty great playstyle following it with great gun depression, solid damage per minute, and just about everything you'd want in terms of armor, especially when you're using it hull down. In today's video, I'll be doing a full down review, talking about its capabilities, playstyle, and how to succeed in it. Let's start off, as usual, talking about the gun, because it actually has a surprisingly good one. It features a okay aiming time at 4 seconds and pretty mediocre dispersion at 0.318. And I should point out that is running refined gun on the vehicle. But do keep in mind that the Super Conqueror has the best on-movement dispersion for a Tier 10 Heavy. That means when you move the gun left and right or you're driving the tank, it is barely going to bloom, actually making this vehicle quite accurate. So I would highly recommend, instead of running V-stabs, which increases your on-movement dispersion, because it's already good, run refined gun. It will make the vehicle a heck of a lot better. In terms of penetration, it is a bit lackluster. Wargaming actually nerfed it, which doesn't make sense, but yeah, the APCR is slightly worse. It also lost about 30 millimeters of HE pen. Used to be 120 with Cali, now it's 94. It's still good. I mean, that's very similar to what you'd find on a Tier 10 tank destroyer in terms of penetration, but it's not as good as it used to be. So let's continue looking at the gun stats. It's got pretty solid DPM at 2,733, and again, that's with calibrated, so if you're running gun rammer, that's upwards of almost 3,000. The damage per shot, pretty average, 400, 340 on the premium, and 515 on the HE. That's basically what you'll find for any heavy that has 400 damage per shot. The best part about the gun is the gun depression at 10 degrees, allowing the vehicle to work any ridgeline. Mobility-wise, it's actually fairly good, reaching a top speed of 36 with a pretty solid effective power to weight, allowing it to chill at around 30 on any type of terrain. The reverse speed is also actually surprisingly good at 16 kilometers per hour. So yeah, mobility-wise, I can't complain all too much about the Super Conch. Its traverse speed isn't the fastest at 36 degrees a second, but it's also not the slowest, and it's actually much better when you realize how solid the side scraping capabilities are on this vehicle. So I'm going to pull out Armor Inspector, and we're going to take a look at what the armor looks like on the vehicle. Here we go. So this is the Super Conch on flat ground. It's actually a pretty solid city fighter and hull-down fighter, which is one of the major reasons why I think it's a really good all-round vehicle. So we can see the upper plate is about 300, but the best part is that the upper plate is also a heat shield. We can see that there's like a little bar that actually comes out from the upper plate, and that's all spaced armor. So that means anybody that has premium heat that tries penning your upper plate will not cut through it, even aiming down. It's super troll, so that's something that's great about the vehicle. The lower plate is obviously a big weak spot, only 150 mils thick. Turret cheeks are also a big weak spot. If you load premium ammo, you can cut through them, but you are going to have to load premium ammunition to actually pen the vehicle, so it makes the armor just that little bit more worthy, and the HP lasts just a bit longer. Side scraping capabilities, apart from this little weak spot here, you can see it's actually really solid. I mean, we can over-angle this a lot, and it's still red. So in terms of armor, the Super Conch is very impressive. You will get a lot of bounces on the side. Hull-down capabilities are fantastic. The 10 degrees of gun depression makes the turret very hard to pen. The entire turret is covered in heat shields, so the only spot you can really pen is if you squeeze a shot right between the gun mantlet and the turret cheek. It allows the Super Conqueror to be an absolutely menacing vehicle while hull down, and especially if you're not running gun rammer, yeah, good luck cutting through this vehicle. So that's the basic overview of the Super Conqueror in terms of its statistics and armor profile. It's a pretty well-rounded vehicle. It's got enough damage per minute to fend for itself in many different situations. It's got good armor for flat ground fights. It's got good armor for hull-down fights. It's just a really good vehicle in any situation you're going to be stuck in. Now this game, we are up against a AMX 50B Chieftain Mark 6 and an E100. Oh, and an M6 Yo. Okay, well, we are going to make our way over towards the silo, and we'll see what we're able to do. I think we'll be okay, but it's always a bit tricky, because not only am I having to do well, but also my team is having to do well. And that's one thing that no matter what you do, or how good of a player you are, you're still going to have to keep in the back of your mind. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of this crossing here, because you do get bled if there are people who are going to pre-aim it, but thankfully, nobody did pre-aim that crossing, so we are all good. We have a 263 playing very aggressive, and we get a nice shot into the Chieftain Mark 6. Not too bad at all. You can see a great example of the Super Conqueror's pretty solid on-movement dispersion there, allowing us to get a pretty easy shot out. Unfortunately, my keyboard stopped working there for a second. That's why we randomly stopped moving. We got the 4005 off to the side. Again, great example of this vehicle's accuracy on move. Very, very solid. Now, our 50B is about as brain dead as you can get in terms of 50B players. For some reason, oh wow, we are just getting crapped on by that 4005. Wow, I cannot believe he hit those shots. That is actually insane when you think about it. Alright, well, let's push up top here, see if we can get some shells into the TVP. There you go, nice shot for 425. And I'm just going to tell our team to attack. I mean, the enemy isn't going to be able to get all of us. Let's get a shell into the 4005. There you go. That player is now a one-shot. Does pen me, but we still got 1,500 health left, and you're dead. So that's just kind of a flat dub right there. Alright, well, we got the enemy 50B off to the side. Let's aim it on his vehicle. And there you go. Nice 367 damage shot. We are getting a lot of shells fired at us here, but for the most part, we are A-okay. We got the 268 off to the side. I'm not going to poke because I don't want to get shot by that 268, but now that the player is backing up, we can start to move in. Alrighty. Well, the 268 did shoot, and that player's getting absolutely clippered. Let's aim it on the roof of his vehicle. Nice, 378 shot. We're up to 2,700 damage at this point. I am going to head towards the enemy E100. I feel like that's a big chunk of damage that we might be able to farm. Aim it on the lower plate. There you go, nice 419 shot. We are already over 3,200 damage. So you can see where the gun on the Super Conk is very solid. The damage per minute is great, and I mean the vehicle is just very enjoyable to drive in a lot of different situations you put it in. Our 50B and Leopard 1 are probably about to like crap on this guy's day. We're going to push up over here, but at the end of the day, I'm not an autoloader, so our 50B might just take a lot of the damage we're going to try and deal. Maybe not. Not if he doesn't know how to pen the 100. Alright, well, the 50B bounced basically all of his shots. That's fine with me, though. We're going to plop on our adrenaline. We're going to get another shell into the lower plate of the E100. The Leopard 1's going to get one more shot out, and we are going to out-reload the Leopard. Let's load a premium shell to guarantee the pen. Just like that. Pretty solid victory. We were even up against Tanner, who's the caller for the Origin team, so, yeah, pretty solid. You never want to over-aggress on any flank of the map, and that is exactly what the Chieftain did there. Might be a really solid player, but at the end of the day, if it's just you and a TVP, and you see everybody on the enemy team pushing that far corner, there's not much you're going to be able to do to stop it. So, yeah, pretty solid game. We did, what, 4,200 damage, and we made 60,000 credits. Nothing crazy in terms of credits, but not a bad game at all. As we can see, the Super Conk just feels very enjoyable. Notice how the gun didn't really have many problems there? A lot of people look at the dispersion on the Super Conk and they're like, it's not that good of a gun. But if you run it properly, it is actually very solid, especially if you let it aim in. Here we are in our second game. We are going to make our way over towards the Yamato. If you didn't actually know, that is the Yamato on Yamato Harbor. Up against us, we have no heavies. They have a Stritzvon. Whoa. Not really sure why our E4 is going to camp in the back then. I don't know what you'd be looking at. There's nothing here. Maybe the Yag will go here. I don't care. I'm going to send it if I can. Alright, well, let's see. I'm just gonna press attack. Let us go. Speed, 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 speed. They aren't here. What a big shock. Yeah, that was the most predictable thing I've ever seen in my life. I don't know what that E4 was thinking. Alright, well, get ready for the TDs, ladies and gentlemen. I'm ready for them. Let's see. Yep, there they are. Hello, Jagdpanzer. How are you doing? Well, I'm going to, oh, this is actually beautiful, though. They are in such a bad situation because if they try to fight us, they're going to be crappered on. There you go. Get a nice shot into the enemy. I don't like the fact that there's a standard rolling on my side. There you go. We actually got a pretty nice pen into his vehicle. I'm not even worried about the other guys. I just don't want to deal with a standard B on my side because that's going to be annoying. Alright, well, 183's in mid. I'm not worried about that. Standard B's still sitting right there. Alright, well, the IS-7's gonna crap on the standard, so that's the good news. The Yag is going mid. Okay. Well, I'm gonna let my teammate deal with that. the Yag shot, so we're going to push over here. We're just going to load a premium shell. We can guarantee the pen if we do that. Let's get behind the Yag Panzer at this point. I don't know where he's running, to be completely real. Can't hesh him, but it's another free 400 damage. I mean, even if he does pen us, we have so much HP that it doesn't really matter. I mean, he pens us for 800, and then we just gotta wait for him to angle towards us. There you go. Now I'm just gonna back him up towards the E4. Bye-bye! So, yeah, we just killed a Yag. We only bled about a third of our health for it, which is just a free win. The 183, I am still worried, is right around this corner, because he was right here. And yep, I was indeed correct. Alright, well, let's get one pen into the enemy FE2 and 5B. Now we're going to pull forwards. Again, even if I get shot by this player, there's nothing else that can kill me. So I could really care less. There you go. You hit me for 900. Congratulations! What are you going to do now? I mean, we're winning this either way. I'm going to put on my adrenaline. I'm going to shoot you again. There you go. And we light you on fire. Bye-bye! This is why tank destroyers at the end of the day will never be as strong as heavies, because they do not have the HP that a heavy has. You just can't survive as long. So, let's see. The E4 got a bounce on the grill. Is that guy just going to sit there the whole time? He probably will. Yep, he just dies there. Well, I can't complain. We did another solid game. You can see how the Super Conk just has great DPM. It's good at really any engagement you get it stuck in. Overall, it's definitely one of my more favorite tier 10 heavies, just because of its playstyle and everything going for it. Again, it is a little disappointing Wargaming nerfed the premium pen. You saw that it was a bit of a struggle to cut through that Yag at its slight angling there, and if that player was smart, could have stayed at that angle, and I wouldn't have been able to do anything. But at the end of the day, the Yag did have to shoot me, so we were able to slap him back. 3,500 damage, top on the team, and yeah, again, just pretty solid games overall. I would highly recommend to play your Super Conk if you have it. If you don't have it, play the E5. It's basically the same thing. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.